Hare Krishna, Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in story from chapter 116. Lord Krishna fights with Bāṇāsura, Canto 10. In the absence of Aniruddha, his relatives continued to lament during the 4 months of the rainy season. Then Narada Muni went to Dwarka and disclosed the whole story in detail. With Krishna and Balarama in their lead, the Yadu army of 12 Akshohini divisions went at once and surrounded Sonitpuram. When Bāṇāsura saw that his city was being attacked and the walls and gardens on the outskirts were being destroyed, he became enraged and sent an army of equal size to engage in battle. Lord Shiva, riding upon Nandi, his bull carrier, became the army's commander in chief, and he was assisted by his sons Ganapati and Kartikeya, along with his ghostly followers. The fighting that followed was so fierce that whoever saw it was so astonished that their hair stood on end. Lord Shiva fought with Lord Krishna, and Pradyumna encountered Kartikeya. Lord Balarama fought Kumbhanda. Shamba contended with Bana's son, and Satyaki fought with Bāṇāsura. News of the battle spread all over the universe, and so all the demigods headed by Brahma came to watch. With his saranga bow, Krishna drove away all the bhutas, pramathas, guhyakas, dakinis, yadud, yatudhanas, Vetalas, Vinayakas, Pretas, Matas, Pisachas, Kusmandas, and Brahma Rakshasas, and all other ghostly followers of Lord Shiva. In response, Lord Shiva released many celestial weapons, but Lord Krishna easily counteracted them all. At last, Lord Shiva released his personal weapon named Pasupatastra, but Krishna countered with his own Narayanastra. Pasupatastra, Narayanastra. As Lord Shiva thus became a little confounded, Krishna took the opportunity to release his yawning weapon. As a result, Lord Shiva began to yawn while giving up all desire to continue fighting. Leaving aside Lord Shiva, Lord Krishna proceeded to strike down Bāṇāsura's army with his sword, club, and arrows. Meanwhile, Kartikeya became so oppressed by the flood of Pradyumna's arrows raining down upon him that he at last fled from the battlefield on his peacock carrier as blood poured profusely from his limbs. Balarama killed Kumbhanda with his club, and thus, being bereft of their leader, Bāṇāsura's soldiers fled in all directions. Seeing his entire army defeated, Bāṇāsura became furious. Leaving aside Satyaki, he charged across the battlefield on his chariot and attacked Krishna. In the frenzy of the battle that followed, Bana finally got the chance to utilize his 1000 arms by simultaneously pulling the strings of 500 bows while fixing 2 arrows upon each string. Lord Hari broke all of Bana's bows, however, while at the same time striking down his driver, smashing his chariot, and killing his horses. After accomplishing this feat, Lord Krishna blew his Panchajanya council. There was a goddess named Kotara, who Bāṇāsura worshipped like a mother. When she saw that Bāṇāsura's life was in danger, she appeared before Krishna naked and with her hair scattered. Lord Krishna turned his face away to avoid seeing the naked goddesses, and so Bāṇāsura took the opportunity to enter his city on foot. At this time, Lord Shiva reappeared on the scene, and as a last resort, he utilized his ultimate weapon, known as Shivjwara. This weapon produces the terrible heat created at the time of dissolution, when the sun becomes 12 times hotter than normal. Shivjwara had 3 heads, 3 legs, 6 arms, and 9 eyes, and as he approached Lord Krishna, he seemed to burn everything to ashes. In response, Krishna released his Vishnu Jwara, which produces excessive cold. As the two weapons clashed, the temperature of Shiv Jwara gradually reduced, causing him to cry out in pain while appealing to his master. But in the presence of Narayan Jwara, Lord Shiva could do nothing to help, and so at last Shiv Jwara fearfully surrendered to Lord Krishna. Shivjwara prayed, I bow down to you, O Supreme Lord. Time, fate, karma, the propensities, the material body, all this constitute your energy, Maya, which works in an endless cycle like that of a seed and a plant. I am being tortured by the power of your fever weapon, which is cold and yet tormenting. It is you who are all powerful and not my master, Lord Shiva. Please protect me. Lord Krishna replied, O three-headed one, I am pleased with you and so you no longer need fear my weapon. Shivjwara bowed down to Lord Krishna and then departed. At this time, Bāṇāsura returned with renewed enthusiasm. Riding upon his chariot and determined to fight, Bāṇāsura released numerous weapons from his 1,000 hands, splashing them upon the Lord's body. In response, Krishna employed his Sudarshana Chakra to cut off Bāṇāsura's arms as if they were so many branches on a tree. When Lord Shiva saw that his devotee was helpless even in his presence, he came to his senses and appeared before Lord Krishna. Lord Shiva prayed, You alone are the absolute truth. Those whose hearts are spotless can see you, for you are uncontaminated like the sky. O Almighty One, just as the sun, although hidden by a cloud, illuminates the cloud and all other things, so you, although hidden by the material modes, remain self-luminous and thus reveal those modes along with the living conditions that are influenced by them. You are the original seed of all existence, and the living entities are tiny manifestations of your energy. Just as a small insect inside a fruit cannot understand the real form of the fruit, the conditioned souls cannot understand your lordship. Their intelligence being bewildered by your Maya and being fully attached to wife, children, home, and the rest. Persons immersed in the ocean of material misery sometimes rise to the surface by achieving the bodies of demigods and sometimes sink down to the lower species of life. One who has attained the human form of life as a gift of God and yet fails to control his senses and neglects to honor your lotus feet is surely to be pitied, for he is only cheating himself. Such a person refuses nectar so that he can consume poison. I, Brahma, and all other demigods and great sages have surrendered wholeheartedly unto you. This Bāṇāsura is my dear and faithful follower, and I had promised him freedom from fear. In consideration of his relationship with Prahlada and Bali, please grant him your mercy as you did to them. Lord Krishna replied, We must certainly do that which you request of us. I will not kill this demonic son of Bali, for previously I gave Prahlada Maharaja the benediction that I will not kill any of his descendants. It was just to subdue his false pride that I cut off Bāṇāsura's arms. I annihilated his army because it had become a great burden upon the earth. I will allow Bāṇāsura to keep his four remaining arms, and in addition, he will be immune to old age and death, and will become one of your principal attendants. Bāṇāsura came and offered obeisances to Lord Krishna by touching his head to the ground. He then arranged for Usha and Aniruddha to be seated on a chariot and brought before the Lord. Placing Usha and Aniruddha in front and surrounded by a large army, Lord Krishna departed for Dwarka after taking leave of Lord Shiva. After receiving news of Krishna's imminent arrival, the citizens of Dwarka lavishly decorated the city in his honor. When the Lord entered the city, the people came forward to greet him, and there was a great combined sound of musical instruments, counsel, and mantras chanted by the Brahmanas. Hare Krishna.